Okay, looks like we're live and shit. John, hello, sir. Tonight's live shot brought to you by Rock God Brewing Company. Not drinking a Rock God Brewing Company product. It's like some Crystal Light or something, but it's in one of their glasses. Wow, you beat Crystal. Pretty tough, beating up a girl. That's my funny. Turtle, hello, sir. Adam Hall, hello, hello. Tonight we're over on the Instagrams as well. Managed to figure that out again. So we're on 4 channels. The Instagrams, the Facebooks, the YouTubes, and the Twitter. All right. Mic appears to be working. See the little green bar. Mike, hello, sir. Glad to see you are well enough to tune into the live stream. You must not be feeling too well because you've tuned into the live stream. Anywho, Shinde, hello. Reports from since the last live shot, we have had the one and only masterclass here in the state of Pennsylvania, the Keystone State. Went off well. The weather was not awesome. Range was fine. Students were great. Typical. Don't know. There might not ever be another one. It really depends on finding a suitable location. Place in Texas is doable, but pretty much saturated every student within driving distance of that class that would be like eligible to take that class. They already did it, so don't know if I'm putting another one on the books in Del Rio. Zach, hello. TJ, hello. So masterclass went well. Did some drills in the morning pertaining to practice, and then did some drills after, well, not the morning, at the beginning of class. We didn't start till 2 in the afternoon and just ran until like 11 o'clock at night. Then we got into some carbine stuff where we focused on pressing the fight instead of typical rifle classes that teach indefinite sustainability of the gunfight. Like, how do we just drag this on as long as possible and not die? Which is great as long as you got 7 trillion rounds of ammo, but sooner or later you have to attempt to win, and that's what we focused on. And it went well. Don't think we saw a ton of issues to report. Potentially a shot out ballistic advantage barrel, no light issues, so other than one set of dead batteries, but that was in a loaner gun that it was the Iron Pig rifle. I just put a streamlight on it, and I guess I didn't really even check to see if the streamlight was live, and it needed a fresh set of batteries in it. And then my second SIG macro had a dead trigger in it. The fire control group is from my original SIG 365 that I got. It was pre-pandemic, so it must be 2019, so 5 years old. It is, according to the Armorer's Manual, past the replacement round count. So the trigger spring is. So I haven't even looked at the gun. I just grabbed the other macro and carried on in my life. But have to look at the trigger spring and see if it's time. Well, I know it's time for replacement, but see if that was the issue. Mike says he's pretty torn between the master class and Fish 1 being his favorite Tremis Dynamics class. I concur. I flip-flop from the teaching side back and forth between those as well. I actually have some ideas for integrating some of the drills we did later in the class into the cover clinics. Seems like that would be a good thing. And Andrew and I have been talking about how we could potentially get some sort of online instruction. Not that it's remotely a replacement for in-person instruction, but due to people's circumstances, if it at least gets them like their head space in the right space as far as what they want out of training. And if that comes to fruition with some of the ideas we've been chatting about, probably some of those drills will be in that as well. Still like figuring out like how to fucking make any of that work. Colt Manny, hello, sir. Speaking of Andrew, if anybody out there knows if he's alive, I have multiple messages out to him via Signal that he has not looked at. I actually invited him to be a guest on tonight's live chat like 3 or 4 days ago, and haven't heard back. So if today's live chat is lame, it's all Andrew's fault. I want him to come on here and talk about his patrolling class coming up in August, and he didn't come through for me, like reading my messages. I feel so distraught. What is this down here? I see a little indicator on my restream. Sure. We will enable chat timers. How about that? So it'll probably start. He might have a broken phone. That could be. I feel less deprived. Also, with a broken phone, he might not have even been able to be a guest tonight because I don't know what he's got set up as far as like the stuff out there to, put his face on a computer screen that isn't one of these guys. Did you see that cool phone case? Just saying. Excuse me. Let's see what else going on. Got in a new 365 XL slide from Brownells. I believe it might be Brownells house brand, $99. So it's the XL slide, no built-in comp or any of that, no plate for an optic. But that, I believe, is, for some of you who weren't aware, I have multiple 365s here, and I took one of the slides, the short slides, and I welded up the firing pin hole. And the plan was I nipped the end off of the striker, welded a piece of drill rod in the barrel, and I was going to make one of these guns out of it, which is not a real gun. It has like a solid barrel and no way to fire live ammo, although it will cycle like there's no dummy rounds, but it will, like, the parts move and you can do malfunctions with dummy rounds and stuff. My M&P, I did the same thing to that. The firing pin holes welded shut, the striker's nipped off, barrel is solid now. I did that with the short 365 and figured that when I was carrying my XL, I could use that for demos and just put it right in the same holster. Then I started carrying my macro, and that isn't going to work because the macro holster doesn't hold a short 365. So I'm going to take the fire control out of that gun, put it in. I got to buy a macro frame, and then I got this slide, the long slide. So I'm going to get that Cerakoted red like this guy, put a set of big dots on it, and put it all together after it's welded up. So I will have a demo gun that doesn't require me to change holsters. It'll be the same as my carry gun. So that is the cool gear thing. And I was shocked I could get an XL slide for 99 bucks. It's very styled like the SIG slide. It doesn't have like a bunch of weird shit cut in it and, dragons or fucking whatever. It's just like a normal XL slide without an optics plate. They have an optics plate version as well, but it's going to be my red gun. I'm not buying an optic for a red gun to demonstrate malfunctions and shit. Brian Anton, hello, sir. Iroquois Foreskin, also hello, sir. So Zach was talking to Andrew on Facebook Messenger. So since Andrew dropped the ball on pimping his own class on my live chat, maybe next week Zach would be interested in joining us on the live chat to pimp his PA classes. I'd like to do a little bit of a spotlight on all the folks that are going to be here for the muster, and moving on to the next guy on the list. So maybe that would be the case if Zach's interested. That is, if he's still listening. The Purity seals back there, those are from Patch Panel, Canadian patch company. They do custom patches, and those are limited runs. There are 3 that I'm missing. I don't remember which 3. They have 2 Chaos seals. You'd see those over here on this side. And then I have, 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the normal good guy Purity seals. One of them is number 1. That one's pretty fucking rare, apparently. It was a very small drop some time ago, 6-7 years back. I've had people offer me like $200 for it, which is insane. So it made me want to keep it even more. But it also means if people are paying that much for fucking patches, there's no way I'm going to find the 3 out of print ones or out of production ones and add them to my list. But regardless, I'm wondering if the 2 Chaos ones, are they impurity seals? I don't know. If it were me, I would make them, I'd make a patch that was an Oath of Moment, which is a 30K thing. Like those after the Horus Heresy, those turned into Purity seals. Prior to that, they were Oaths of Moment. Anywho, there's my 40K geekdom kicking in. It pops up all over the place. And I'm not even a very big 40K geek. Regardless. I don't know how we got sidetracked onto that. And I didn't see an answer from Definitive Training Solutions. My guess is Zach's no longer watching. But if he would like to be a guest next week, I will reach out to him via Signal sometime after this live shot is over and see if he is interested in pimping out his return to PA classes. I believe he's going to Florida as well, and he can pimp those out in addition. And we can chat a little bit about the muster. Let me check my notes, but don't really think I had a whole lot note-wise. I didn't even bring up the notes. See if there's anything from last week that bears repeating. This Sunday is Fish 6 Nod Fishing. So if you wanted to break out UTM bolts and for force on paper and some Blackbeards for laser on paper, go into the shoot house with your night vision. this is the one time in this year that we have that on the schedule. The shoot house that we use up here in Scranton at some point this year is going to have some major construction going on, so I can't promise what we'll get on the schedule based off of their construction. I can't tell you what all they're constructing, but it should be pretty cool. So that is happening this Sunday. Should be a small class, mostly because the fish classes are usually pretty small, thank God. And you got to own night vision. Cuts down on the number of people showing up. Still got a couple slots open for the Memorial Day weekend, where we got 3 workshops going on. Maybe 2 or 3 slots for each one of the classes. I think just about everybody that signed up has ended up coming to all 3. Shooting a moving pistol, low light pistol, that's on Saturday. So Saturday during the day, like an hour break, and then a Saturday night. And then Sunday night is low light carbine. And Monday is a holiday, so that's why we're doing one Sunday night. Maybe a lot of folks will have a day off. Let's see. That's why I don't really have much on the notes wise that needs to be brought up. Yep. Nope. No questions. Actually, I was really bad about making the event page over on the Facebooks where people can post questions. Sorry. Still better than the couple times I didn't even make an event. I might as well click going since I'm going to the live chat, but I'll check the discussion. Nope, no questions. Here's some good news. Aiden Donovan, hello, sir. Have an idea for a advanced version, maybe, of the Trempendix holster. So it's almost a hybrid of the Mark V and the Trempendix. So on the Mark V, we use a Raven concealment claw to help angle the holster, so that the butt of the grip gets angled in more. And on the Trempendix, we use a DIY wing. And the DIY wing I should have brought one up, comes lower and then goes up, but it's smooth. So since the Trempendix holster allows the pistol to rotate, I needed the wing/claw to not be rigid with a bunch of little pokey things, because I needed it to slide as well. So it looks like we have an idea for our own wing that is similar to the Raven, but is not grippy on the surface, so it should slide better. And in theory, what we're looking at doing is trying, instead of having like from here to here with Kydex, because you got to have room for that wing to bolt on. If the wing bolts on up here, we can make the holster skinnier at this point. And not that I give a shit about anybody else, but personally, carrying appendix if I'm sitting for more than about a half an hour, it becomes irritating. More than an hour and it becomes painful. Hour and a half, excruciating. So like if I'm driving somewhere, like I just drove from Pittsburgh, and it was a little over 3 hours, and it was highly painful, mostly because the holster is touching my leg and my dick at the same time. Like there's there's no space in there. I know everyone says, "Oh, you put it in the gap between your leg and your Johnson," and I'm like, there is not much gap there. Like, I don't know what all everybody thinks is happening below my belt, but there ain't any fucking. There certainly isn't this much room. So I got plastic against both of them, and I end up like mansplaining while I'm driving. Thank God for cruise control because I can't reach the gas pedal when my legs are spread, super wide. So anyhow, got this idea for maybe making a thin version of a Trempendix with our own wing claw thing on it. No idea when that's going to come to any sort of prototype fruition. TJ says we're going to do a pistol fish when we can get some laser equipped pistols. Yes. Don't have it on the schedule because all the companies that do laser stuff don't make anything macro compatible or 365 compatible. Like, I go back to an XL to run the class. It's mostly Glocks. If we run cert pistols, they have an M&P. My cert pistol's over there. And then they have a little pocket pistol thing that doesn't fit in anybody's holsters. Like, it doesn't, it tries to be like a hybrid of a Shield 365, Glock 43. And the problem is it doesn't fit any holster that's out there. And then Dry Fire Mag has their new system coming out, and they currently do 320s, Glock 17s, which also work in a 19 and a 26, and any of those fucking, I don't even know what ones they have out now that are that size, or the 940 size, and a 48, but they got a macro like close. Blue Ops only does Glock 19s. So like, I am not, like, when I was looking at people that were interested in purchasing, I had, because you got to do like a opening order with all of them, like at least likely 10 or more units based on wholesale price and the minimum opening order. So I'm like, I reached out to some students that come to classes a bunch, and I'm looking at needing like at least half of them being SIG macros, and then like one Glock 48 and a couple of Glock 19 compatible. So I'm not making an opening order for a bunch of Glockwins and then not using them or selling them to anyone because everybody wants a macro one. So when a macro comes out from Dry Fire Mag, Laser Ammo makes the ammo part and Dry Fire Mag makes the magazine part. But a regular laser cartridge will not work with a Dry Fire Mag. It's a special Dry Fire Mag or a special laser cartridge, because it's not getting a striker hit. It's getting something from the magazine to hit it. Regardless, it's like, you can't just build it yourself out of a regular Dry Fire Mag and whoever's laser cartridge. So when that comes out, so I can get 5 macro wins and 5 or 6, then I will supplement that with a couple of Glock 19s that I can use. I don't even know, that might not work for loaners. I have UTM guns that obviously the laser cartridge won't fit in the UTM barrel. And I don't have like Glock slides for those UTM guns. I only have the UTM tops. So we'll have to figure that out. I'm going to have to buy a couple of no-name brand slides. We'll see. So I have a couple loaners. We'll see how that works out. But yeah, that's coming. All right, let me check down here. Plastic, you didn't let rubber touch that thing. Oh, hey, we're still back on the holster. Yep. I could have saved myself $100,000 by spending $12 on rubbers, but didn't. And yes, can't put it in a UTM gun because the laser cartridge is not sized to fit a UTM chamber. So that's that there, Tej. Will Crutcher, hello, sir. Aiden says, what's my favorite sub rifle length AR barrel length / gas length? So what I like to use personally, because I'm willing to go through the headache of doing it, is 10.5 inch barrel length with obviously a carbine length gas system. I also like to put a can on the end of that, which gives me more dwell time than a typical carbine system will give. It also puts the length back out to normal carbine length between a 14.5 and a 16. It doesn't make it out to 16 inches, but it's a little longer than a 14, about a 14.5 with a bird cage, which also isn't 16 inches. So about the same as that. If I'm not going to SBR shit, then I will go with a 16-inch mid-length. On both of those, I like a 1-8 twist and a 2-2-3 wild chamber. In fact, there's a bunch of ARs in this house, and all of them currently are either 16-inch or 10.5 inch. I don't have anything else. Although I was recently gifted an 18-inch barrel that I might make something out of. But otherwise, 16-inch mid-length or 10.5-inch carbine length. My go-to barrel right now for either of those lengths is the Criterion Core barrel. There's nothing I would recommend higher than that. If you were not wanting to spend that much money, a Roscoe or a Ballistic Advantage would be good to go. I have both of those here as well. "20-inch upper to see if you can punch through armor." With what? Like green tip? Still not going to go through level 4. And if you're using 855A1, you probably don't need a 20-inch barrel to go through armor. Just a hunch. All right, so hopefully that answers those questions. Tonight won't be a super long live chat. Don't have a lot to talk about, and my fucking back is killing me. I did something to it a couple weeks ago, and man, I was at the chiropractor today again. So sitting does me in. Level 3 steel plates and whatever round. Well, 55 grain ammo probably doesn't need a 20-inch barrel velocity. Can punch through steel plates if it's pretty close. A1 will do it for sure. I know, because I have. I looked in the corner. I'm in the wrong room, but I have a AR 500 plate with holes in it from 855 A1 out of a 10.5-inch barrel. All right. Let's see. What else is worth mentioning? Oh, here's one. Classes. Somebody asked me last week in person, like what classes I was looking forward to taking as a student this year, and I already took a 2-week-long class in February. I am going to take Patrolling the Homestead from Andrew and Jay. Hopefully by then my fucking back is no longer jacked up. And shit, I don't even know what the name of it is. But Green Line will be up at the Ben Franklin range in December for night vision shoot house class. That might actually be what it's called. Nod shoot house, night vision shoot house. Looking to do that, and that's probably it. as far as taking classes. But if anybody wants to head over to Ben Franklin in December, could be a pretty cool thing. I would recommend, if there is a link available when you sign up for the class for the bunkhouse, you should get it quickly. When we did the master class last weekend, none of the bunks were available. It was already well sold out, so we got a room at Quality Inn Royale, down about 15 minutes away, but it's like the only other hotel around. So that could be pretty cool for a December class. However, the shoot house at Ben Franklin isn't quite indoors. So it is a 2-level structure and with no roof on the actual structure. And then above it is a steel roof, like you would find on a steel building, but there are no walls on that part. So it's like built like under an awning. So there's a lot of open air coming through there. Pennsylvania in December can sometimes be chilly. It's in the southern part of the state, so that's always beneficial. So you'll be out of the wet part of the weather if it happens to be like freezing rain or sleet or hail or snow or whatever, but it probably won't be warm. So that's coming up, and I'm looking forward to that. Willie, hello, sir. So we got that coming up. That'll be pretty cool. I think when Zach is going to be here, I think he's teaching a Saturday and a Sunday, and we're doing day 3 navigation on the Saturday that he's here. So I'm thinking Sunday, I'm also going to go catch whatever the hell he's running on that Sunday. I'm not even sure. What type of weather do I expect during the workshops? Well, if you're talking about the workshop weekend on Memorial Day, I haven't really looked at the weather. It's also not remotely close enough to look at the weather. But like it's 80 degrees here today. I don't know what it's going to be tonight. If it doesn't rain, I expect it to be pleasant. If it rains, it'll probably be chilly. It'll probably rain because my chiropractor told me today that so far, like this year, we've had like 19 weekends that it rained here in Columbia County, Pennsylvania. So like I think we've had like 4 weekends where there was no rain. So given the odds, it's probably going to rain. I know you're like, well, the odds are like 50-50, Gary. It either will or it won't. I guess. All right. Anybody else got anything they want to chat about? Says my back hurts and I don't want to sit here very much longer. I know it's only like 40 minutes in, but instead of an hour, but you got a few minutes and now would be the time. And if you don't have anything in a few minutes, then we're going to end up, getting on out of here and going back about our evening just because we can. I hear my dog somewhere outside the door there, just lonely for his pops. Read my signal message and see if you want to chat about that. Well, if I close the window to read the signal message, all right, so now you all are watching me read. Interesting events for you tonight, but not really live chat material. Lidocaine patches? I didn't know lidocaine even came in a patch. Do you need a prescription for a lidocaine patch? That would be interesting or beneficial. I do have some lidocaine here in like little vials that I could, uh, inject my back. A, I don't want to stick a needle in my back. B, the only person here to stick a needle in my back is the dog. It's not really something I could probably do on my own. Oh, over the counter. No shit. Looks like maybe I'll be making a trip to the to CVS tomorrow to pick up some lidocaine patches. That sounds glorious. Try laying on the floor flat on your back. So as it turns out, if I'm on my feet for a couple hours, I can start to feel it's up high in the back, about right here, but on the back side. And but if I'm sitting, about a half hour. It takes about a half hour before it starts hurting. Got a bunch of patches from the VA. Fuck, it might be time to actually go visit the VA. I didn't even get registered with the VA for healthcare until this year. And, like 30 years later. What was that noise? I don't even know. But yeah, I'd be down for the VA hooking me up with some lidocaine patches for my back. That'd be fantabulous. Try sleeping on the floor. Well, the good news is I can sleep anywhere, so the floor wouldn't be much of a problem. The dog would probably like that. All right. So, John just sent me some pictures of lidocaine patches. Thank you, sir. So if we ain't got anything cool, tactical to talk about, then it sounds like my plan is to go unsit the back so that it feels better, and maybe talk to Zach Bush about being a guest next week. And hopefully we can get back on the habit of having some of the muster presenters being on the live chat so they can pimp out their stuff since Andrew dropped the ball. And for the rest of you folks, I don't have a jujitsu mat at my house, Willie. I have a yoga mat. Regardless, for everybody else, how about we just call this an evening? I'll chat at everybody next week. And put some ice on it. I tried that. Heat felt good. Ice, not so much. Regardless, we'll call it good. I'll see you all in a week. Pester Zach Bush about being a guest. I will do the same. And if you come up with some questions for me or Zach, post them up over on the Facebooks somewhere, and I'll make a list of them. So with that, you all toodaloo, I'll toodaloo, and I'll see you in like a week.